Hello everyone, welcome to PPC Roundtable episode 7. Now this video is going to be really exciting because we are going to look at whether vCPM is a blessing or a curse. So I am joined in by Mr. Sandeep, our co-founder. And Mr. Sandeep, how is it going?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How are you, Sami?
Yeah, good. So let's take this episode a little bit different. Let's start with showing something first to the audience, right? So this is account. This is I think they are doing around close to 35 lakhs a month in sales. No, this is doing a little bit less, around 24, 25 lakhs. But one thing that you can see here is these are the vCPM campaigns and these are the CPC campaigns, right? The vCPM model where Amazon charges on viewable impression and the CPC where we know cost per click, right? What we wanted to show you is the ROAS and the ACOS here, right? Now, this is the sales, this is the spent 8,900 spent, and sales is around 1,33,000. A cost 6.70, ROAS 14.94, another ROAS 16, and then if you just come below the CPC ROAS 3.2, which is normal, we know, right? Let me try to show another account here. This is another account. This is in a very competitive niche. They are doing close to 35, 40 lakhs a month, and they are, I think, in hair color niche. So here you can see the spends, right? 16,000 spent, got close to 3 lakhs in orders, 579 in orders, units sold, and the ROAS is 17.93. Now, I am not going deep into what these views and clicks are because Mr. Sandeep is going to explain later on in this video that is the sales that you're seeing is a bluff or is it real, what it is inside it, and whether it is helpful for sellers or not, whether the sales that you are looking at, you should be hyped and happy by looking at it, or is there something more into that you need to look at? So I think let's start with the topic first. Okay, let's start with what is vCPM CPC. What is the main difference, Mr. Sandeep?
Right. So vCPM and CPC, if we see, these are the two ways that Amazon charges. So CPC, as we know it, is cost per click, and I think it was Google who introduced it first, and now Amazon is leading it the most, the CPC part of the game. Whereas if we look at the vCPM, that is, if we break it down, it is CPM, and then V has been added in front of it. So CPM basically is cost per mile. So 1,000 basically miles. So 1,000 impressions. So we pay for 1,000 impressions in general if it is just the CPM. Whereas on Amazon it is vCPM, so it means viewable impressions. So it is still 1,000 impressions, but at this time it is going to be viewable impressions that will be charged on. Now next is important for us to understand what is impression and what is viewable impression. So impression is basically placement of our ad anywhere on the page, irrespective of whether it was seen by the shopper or not. Okay, let's say for example, if I have a term face scrub. So if I have a face scrub and I'm targeting, my product falls into that category. Somebody search a face scrub on the search result or moves to the product page, and I have my advertising placement somewhere down at the bottom, of the page.
Yeah.
Customer may not scroll down, but it will still be counted as an impression. So that is impression. Okay, that is why we see sometimes 50,000, 100,000 impressions, a lot of impressions on our. But when we look at CTR, we see CTR in terms of zero point 0.1, in some cases 0.2, 0.3, even lesser than 0.1 also. So that is basically impression. Now, what is viewable impression? So viewable impression is basically, as per Internet Advertising Bureau and Media Rating Council, as per these two, they have defined what is viewable impression. So as per them, a ad has to be viewed for 50% of its screen. Let's say for example, if I'm searching, so it should be 50% at least on my screen if I'm scrolling down. And for a display ad, it has to be there for a minute, minimum a minute. And for a video ad, it has to be there for a second. Pardon me, it's not the minute, it is the second. And for video ad, it is 2 seconds. So then it will be counted as a viewable impression. Otherwise, it will be counted as an impression. For example, let's say
Okay.
if I search, yeah.
Yeah, I think as for example, if we just say, let's assume you're running a banner ad, which the dimension would be, let's assume, uh, on the taller side around 10 centimeter, on the wide side around, let's assume same square 10 centimeter, and by 50%, that's mean you are just seeing the half portion of that ad for 1 second, and that will count as viewable impression. Is it right?
Yes, so 10 centimeter, if we are saying, so minimum 5 centimeter has to be on my screen. Okay, whether it is a mobile screen or a desktop screen, it has to be on my screen. For some reason, if it is, let's say, less than 50%, and I moved on and started doing some other stuff, or I changed the tab, it won't be counted as a viewable impression. For it to count as a viewable impression, it has to be on my screen, viewed 50% or more for a second for display ad, and 2 seconds for a sponsored video ad.
Got it. Okay. So, just a second.
Another thing is, it is also important. It does not mean that if I have my ad on top of the search, I will always have viewable impressions. Neither it means that if I have at the bottom, I will not have viewable impressions. Okay, as I understand, or all of us understand now, that if, let's say, I have searched, the search page result is of 48 pages, and the ad placement is at the bottom of my search. Okay, which we say as the rest of the search, let's say, customer may have
Mhm.
not gone to that, but still possible that I may get a viewable impression if a customer is scrolling going till the last of the page, and my placement is there for 50% or more of the screen, for more than 1 minute for display. And so it is possible, or it is also possible that on top of the search, customer may have searched something and quickly scroll down. So if the customer scroll down, then there is a possibility that even though I was targeting top of the search, but I did not get a viewable impression. I got only impression because it was not there for that 1 second. Even before that, the customer may
Mhm.
have skipped, or for a video ad, 2 second it was not there, and customer may have scrolled down and moved to the some other page.
Got it. Let's go back to the screen and let's try to understand again. Now, for the viewers, if you can see, let me try to zoom in a little bit, right? Just a second. Here you can see the sales. At the bottom of sales, it shows the views and clicks, right? Now, for the audience, it might be a little bit confusing because this is what Amazon call as assisted sales, not real sales. Okay. Now, I think to understand more about it, we need to go deep dive into last touch attribution, what it is really. So I think Mr. Sandeep will explain us about last touch attribution, how that model works. Then we can come back again to understand what is assisted sales, right?
Right. So last touch attribution. Before we understand that, we have to understand what is attribution. So
Mhm.
the way Amazon works is, Amazon has a attribution window to award a sale for an ad type. Okay, so let's say if the attribution window is either 7 days or 14 days generally, okay, based on seller central, vendor central, based on ad type. But assuming, let's say, if it is 7 days attribution window, that means if I saw an ad of a product and I clicked, okay, if it was a sponsored placement, I clicked on it, I just gone through the product page, and then I moved on to some other product page. Okay, so but the placement that I had clicked on, the click that had happened was on a sponsored result, not an organic. So now Amazon will track it for the attribution window and see if I am making a purchase or not for those many days. So if the attribution is of 7 days, so Amazon is gonna wait and see for 7 days whether I did purchase or not. So if I did not purchase, Amazon, let's say I purchased after 15 days. Okay, 15 days from now, Amazon purchased. So then that will be considered as an organic sale. Even though I had the first exposure to the product or brand using a sponsored placement, but Amazon is going to attribute it as an organic sale because it has the purchase happened after 15 days. Let's say there is a scenario, I clicked today, but I made a purchase 5 days later. Okay, now in this case, Amazon will give the attribution to this advertising as a last touch attribution because it was clicked 5 days ago. Let's understand what is last touch attribution model. So the way Amazon advertising works, Amazon will always attribute a sale to an advertising campaign if it is because of advertising. If it has, the sale has happened because of an advertising. Let's assume a scenario where there is no advertising, simple organic placement, customer clicked on it, bought today, day after tomorrow, 10 days, 20 days, there is no attribution because there is no advertising part of it. Amazon will just track which product has been bought. That is what Amazon has to track when it is organic. However, for advertising, Amazon has to track where was this click, where did this click come from, which advertising, which campaign generated this click, and then which campaign is responsible for the sale. Not always a campaign that is generating a click is responsible also for the sale. Okay, so that is what our attribution model is. So for click it is separate attribution, for a sale it is a separate attribution. So let's understand that. So as you can see, I'm sharing my screen. Let's assume we have these two campaigns at the top that you see, one which has given us 183 orders and the other that has given us 141 orders. So these two campaigns are there, and we can see both are showing views and clicks. That means they are impression based. Okay, viewable impression based campaigns. Now, scenario when a customer searched for a particular term, clicked on a product page, possibly our product page, and came onto the listing. Now, if the click was through a sponsored placement and CPC, then Amazon is going to track that the click has happened because of that particular campaign. And if it was organic, Amazon won't track anything. And then the customer has come to the product page. Now, if a customer has come to the product page and there the customer makes purchase either today or 2 days later, 4 days later, whatever attribution window Amazon has, usually 7 days and in some cases 14 days based on ad type and seller central, vendor central. So Amazon is going to track the click and wait for the purchase for it. So imagine if the purchase happened after 15 days, then there is no attribution given to the campaign, even though the customer came to know about the product or the brand because of a sponsored placement. But still, it won't be given. The credit won't be, the sales won't be awarded to the campaign, whichever campaign the click came from. Now imagine a scenario when a click has happened and the purchase happens either at the very same moment or after 2 days or 5 days. In that case, Amazon is going to attribute the last campaign, whichever was last campaign, to that. Amazon will attribute the sale. There can be a scenario where I clicked on one sponsored placement of a product from one brand, which was from a campaign one. I may have clicked on to another product, which is a campaign two, and then made the purchase. If that happens, then Amazon will attribute the sale to the last campaign. It will show in the last campaign. If it is click, but the moment we have a viewable impression where there is no click even required, then the case changes a little bit. Now, if the customer clicked on the ad, came to the product page, and there our own defensive vCPM ad was running, then in that case, even without a click, Amazon is likely to attribute the sale to the vCPM campaign. So in that case, when we see these kind of numbers, 4% ACOS, 5% ACOS, we may see such results because all the attribution is given to the last touch model, and which is the impression based campaign where there was no click also.
Okay, let me ask you a question, okay, because I think that will be interesting. Let's assume I'm searching for a keyword face wash for men. Okay. And then let's assume on the 10th position, there is an organic product being shown. I mean, organic result is being shown for a brand. And that is not paid, that is not sponsored. And just below that, there is also the same brand's defense campaign running, which is a display ad, maybe ran with the cost type vCPM. Okay. So we know this is an organic listing, right? And it is being stick there due to their organic ranking. But just below that, there is a display ad under vCPM being ran. So does that mean vCPM is going to take the credit for that sale because the last touch goes to this ad?
Provided somebody seen the display ad, which is a, let's say, display ad 50% or more, 1 second or more it was on the screen, and if the purchase has happened, Amazon is likely to attribute the sale to the vCPM because that was the last touch point. So yes, it is possible that Amazon may do that if it qualifies for the vCPM guidelines.
Yeah, I got it. And Amazon also backed this up, right? They are saying that uh, this is an assisted sale because that ad is also assisting to get the sale, because it may also happen that that ad could be your competitor's ad, and that then the result would have been completely different. Let me try to show some real examples here. Okay, let me go and show you in the screen. Let me share my screen, try to show you, okay, what would be the scenario if those were clicks. That means if, let's assume your organic listing is there and your CPM campaign ad is shown. So how do you compare whether that is a viewable last touch sale or a real clicked sale? That means the ad have got the click. So let's try to understand that, right? Because here what we can see, views and clicks, that means these are assisted sales. That means it could be that the sponsored ad or sponsored display ad have got a click and that resulted in a sale, or it can also be it is falling under the criteria of viewable impression, and that means it was the last touch for that particular sales. That is also may happening that it is also putting or attributing the sale for that reason. So there's a report that is available. Let me try to get into that, right? So what this report gives, okay, this gives a overview on, okay, what is the sales showing, assisted sales versus what is the real sales that have came out after clicking the specific sponsored display ad. So I think I've already downloaded report so that it doesn't consume a lot of time. But let me show you how you can do it. You have to go to create report, click on this sponsored display. It will be campaign. You can select the last 30 days and it will do simple run report and the report will be created. Okay. I have already created it. So let me just go back to the report section so that I can show it to you. Okay. I think I have already downloaded. Okay. Let me open it. Okay. So here it is. Okay. The columns that you need to see here are, let me zoom it a little bit. If we just see 14 days total sales, these are the sales which are assisted sales, right? And let me delete all the other things, okay, so that it is very easy for us to understand. So I have this column that is an A, and the next column that we're going to need is, let me show you. This is what is on this one. 14 days total sale by click. That means the ad has to get a click. The sponsored display ad has to get a click. So let me delete all the rest things, okay, so that it's very easy to understand. So now we have only these two tabs, okay. One is the 7-day total sales, which is the assisted sales, versus the sales that have generated through clicking the ad, okay, through clicking the exact vCPM ad. Now you can just compare, okay, you can just compare and you can see the differences. This is a sales which is Amazon referring to as assisted sale because the ad was a last touch, or the ad is taking the credit for the sale because it falls under last touch attribution model. Here you can see this is around 96,000 is the assisted sale, whereas the real sale that we have got by clicking the sponsored display ad, which was run under vCPM cost type, is 1,868. Okay, this is a difference of close to 94,000 rupees, which is a little bit big deal. Here you can see the sale is 23,000, whereas the real sale by clicking the ad is zero. Here it is far more bigger difference. The sales that is assisted sales is around 1,31,000, whereas the sales that have generated by clicking the ad is 4,000 rupees. Okay. Here you can see further difference, almost 60,000 difference. Here is a difference of 1,26,000. So what you can do best is, in order to understand whether your ROAS is real or not, whether the campaign is performing good for you or not, is to also control these figures for you. Because if there's a lot more difference, maybe your ad is not performing good. Okay, you need to find the difference and see what is the real ROAS or real ACOS for that campaign versus what is the ACOS that is being shown in Amazon dashboard, campaign dashboard. Because this data you can't see in your campaign dashboard. You have to download this report to get this data. And that is why this report is so important for you, because you have to go and download this report. Then only you will see this real figure of clicks. And you will not find this column inside the campaign dashboard. So I think that is what you need to go and check every week, that what is happening for your ads at the most granular level possible. Then only you can figure out what is the real performance of that ad. Sandeep, do you have something to add?
Yeah, so even though the true sales are the click based sales, we cannot just negate rest of the sales also, because there is possible impact to the numbers that we see if there is no impression based ad. Um, However, it is difficult to quantify the impact that we will have. Plus, such campaigns, VCPM campaigns, if run defensively, tend to have a very less ACOS.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you look at the ACOS, it is 4%, 5%. If you look at TACOS level, it may be even lesser than that. So spending a small portion of your budget, which can which can ensure that you get that sale, is also to be considered. However, again, there is a cannibalization happening for sure, where we cannot just look at the performance or our display campaigns and think that our PPC is effective. Okay, so we should look at our performance ad type level, where what is the performance of sponsored product and what is the performance of sponsored brand and what is the performance of sponsored display. Individually we should look at, and while we look at display, we should separate vCPM with the CPC model, and then look at the performance so that we can know the performance that we have. So that will be one thing to look for.
Yeah, I think I'm completely seeing that this points obviously ignites a debate in the comment section, and people are going to comment what is their best option to choose between VCP and CPC after this data that we have shown right now. And also, I think vCPM is also compared as a top of the funnel to bring on more new to the brand customers, right? So I think if you're looking into that point of view, obviously it makes a lot more sense to use vCPM campaigns. And if we just dig deep into vCPM match, like vCPM ad types, I think vCPM, we have a lot of campaigns now, both in sponsored display, brands. I'm not too sure about sponsored products. So would you like to share some light on that? Like, which ad types are allowing us now vCPM?
Yeah, so we can do that sponsored product, sponsored display and sponsored brand only.
Mhm.
It started with sponsored display because the CPM concept is very prevalent in meta space for
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook. So CPM is very important because there the customer is not searching a term, unlike Amazon, where the customer has come and looking for a particular product, they have
Mhm.
searched for it. So in Meta, they are there for their own personal reasons, and then they come across these ads where they just happen to click on it. Now, if Meta starts charging based on click, then very few people click on such ads, because if
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook or Instagram just spending 5-10 minutes that I have, I am very unlikely to click on a shampoo or any other product. So CPC cannot work in Meta. It won't be that effective. But if I have a CPM model where irrespective of the people click or not, the advertiser is going to charge based on the impressions or viewable impressions, that is more effective for such platforms. Okay, but if we talk about Amazon, Amazon is an ever-changing landscape, and they have evolved. So they started with display as an vCPM, and then lately they have also brought in sponsored brand. I think 3-4 months ago they brought in sponsored brand also to vCPM umbrella, where we still have CPC plus vCPM. It's just that vCPM have some premium placements which otherwise with CPC we cannot get. So that those things we can be considered about if we look at sponsored brands specifically. Okay, like for example, top of the search, if I have a brand focused approach, video ad is only possible as of now through vCPM. It is not possible for me to show my ad. For example, let me share my screen and show. I was looking at that ad, and if I can just share and show it to you guys. So if you see this ad that is on the screen right now, okay, this is a video ad. It is clearly visible. It is on top of the search, okay, above the fold. Here it is brand focused. It is talking about, it's just the brand information. There is no pricing of the product. There is no review of the product. So that means it is about the brand. If I click on it, okay, if I click on it, it's going to take me to, okay, let's see, if it should take me to brand store. Okay, if I click on this, it should take me to the brand store, because it's a brand ad video impression base. So you can see that it has brought me to the brand store instead of product page, and then I've got other brand product information here, which is loading. Yeah, so you can see other products. So this is a store page that it has brought me to, and it is face care. You can see it has brought me to face care. So this kind of a placement, if we want, impression based only through video ads possible if we do vCPM ad. Otherwise it is not possible as of now. This should be something that we can try in our own.
For the audience that are watching, we have an advanced advertising course that we have created, all advanced strategies, reporting, bulk operation, new strategies. If you're looking for that, make sure you comment below Amazon advertising or Amazon PPC, or just let us know what is your thought on whether you should try vCPM or not because of the assisted sales. Just comment down below and I'll make sure I get you access to the course for free. And also, if you're looking to audit your account to go at most granular level, what are the steps you need to do to audit your account? We have a complete step-by-step video on that. Just check out the description. You can see the video. Also, if you're looking for an agency that can handle your ads and help you with your Amazon ads, you can obviously fill the form below or schedule an audit so that we can check whether we can help you or not. I think that was it for this video. Thank you so much, Mr. Sandeep, for joining today. I'll see you again, guys, again on the next episode.